what didn't work.
I don't know what to hit. I have it up like this and it's filming me this way.
Well, flip it around.
I don't know how to do that.
There's a
It's that bad.
there's a flip around button on your screen. Just
It should
There
just
you go.
automatically.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set this down here.
Hey, would you do me a favor and sit that down there?
Yep, that's what I just did.
I don't think it's recording right now. This says next. Are you in charge of this thing?
I wouldn't say in charge, no.
Do you know about anything about
Yeah, I do. I'm the communications director for the council. I just do the.
So if I wanted to talk, where do I sign?
So, oh, sorry. You don't need to sign
Kind of chokes
anything.
up, doesn't it?
Yeah. You don't need to sign in. When public comment starts, you can just step up to the podium and you'll have
Okay.
3 minutes.
How far into the meeting is the public comments?
It's a short meeting tonight, so there's only one agenda item before public comments, so it'll be pretty quick, I'd
So
say.
you have like the flag salute, a prayer, and then they'll say something, and then they'll
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
good.
There's an agenda back on the podium, at least there should be.
Saw that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll have a couple of things up top, and then one agenda item, and then public comments. Yep. Excuse me. Sorry. Ugh.
It's very nice built. What year was this built?
It was refurbed in
1930s?
the original build. I want to say was. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know somebody here knows though, but it was refurbished in the early 2000s. So that's where like all this
Mm-hmm.
was done then. So like major overhaul with the entire building. So yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's held up pretty well.
So Deloitte,
Yeah,
I might have to ask you to film me when I'm up.
well, I'm gonna film it too. I'll be filming you.
Can I bring my pit? No, but I want it for my channel.
I know.
Live.
Can I just transfer it to you?
So I want to, no, because I want to do mine live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can do it.
You didn't bring your gimbal with you?
No,
But you could have just set it up there.
no, it wouldn't do well. I tried it, I said forget it. I gotta order, the one like you have.
One that you
Gotta order-
gave me?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get another one from, Walmart.
What happened to your other one?
That's it. That's the
Oh,
one that
I
broke.
thought you had.
Yeah, that's the one that Sergeant Hill broke. Said it was a weapon. Remember that? God.
Yeah, it's plastic and everything, man. That could hurt somebody.
Well, it could do some damage, but I guess, why would I even think about that?
You
know?
wouldn't.
And I like what Jose said, well, with your mentality, yeah, I can see why you said that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It's my anniversary today. We'll
And-
get in trouble.
Wedding
Well, where's your
anniversary?
wife?
Huh?
Yeah, I thought Lynn was coming.
My my son went on vacation, so he has two mastiff dogs and he has to watch them every 4 hours, otherwise they get unruly.
So when's this meeting supposed to start?
6.
6? Okay.
You ask too many questions.
Are they gonna be fashionably late?
They should be. Sometimes they are.
Everybody
They
get their
should be.
taxes done? Everybody get their taxes?
I hope
done?
so.
Yeah, so
I hope
It'll
maybe that's
remind
what
us
they're
of the
doing.
Clinton administration, right?
Say again?
It'll remind us of the Clinton administration. They were always late.
Oh. You know, have you ever noticed I'm never late?
I'm
I'm
never
always
late
early.
either.
Yeah, and you know why?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's called United States Army.
Yeah.
No.
If you ain't on time, you're able.
It's called First Sergeant Four-Wall Counselor. I remember the first time I reported my infantry company, the company commander, I didn't even know it. He and I went through special forces training together. He about crapped this pass, he was a captain. He goes, where have you been? I go, I've been messing around.
Messing around.
Yeah. And so the first thing, Sergeant Sisson walked in the room and he goes, sir, can I use your office? And he goes, for what? He goes, I need to do four-wall counseling. And I said, what's four-wall counseling? And Captain Foltz goes, well, you throw them on this wall, and then you throw them over here, and then back over here, and back over there.
Kinda like up and down.
Yeah, dumb and dumber.
So, by messing around, what, you were Green Beret at that time, right? So that's all they do is mess around.
Yeah, well, you should be in the team rooms, that's really a lot of fun. There's a lot of horseplay, there's a lot of, they do all kinds of stuff to you.
The hotel is under new management.
Is the hotel under new management?
I guess, yeah.
Which one?
Hey, Bill, what are you streaming right now? Bill, what are you streaming right now? I turned our stream off, but something's still on there.
So do they stream their meetings to the public?
Yeah.
And then the pentagonal on there, is that the satanic center?
Yeah.
Does anybody ever think about that? No.
Oh, no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I was like, what is this?
8 points. It all means something.
Who made the 30 caliber machine gun that's from here?
Browning arms.
That's it, I'm related to him.
Hmm.
When I went to the museum.
Well, you're related to everybody.
Yeah, but when I went to the museum to talk to the guy, when we got done, he goes, you should have my job, you know more about what this stuff is than I do. I was telling him all these little tricks you can do with machine guns and stuff, you know? It was just like,
Do you remember what happened to John Browning?
now what happened to him? They
Killed
take-
himself.
Oh,
One of his guns, imagine.
wow. Misfire.
Things weren't going so good at that time.
Wow.
I used to live by Browning Arms up in Mountain Green.
Wow.
They have a tunnel up there that's about 200 feet long underground. They could go shoot, nobody could hear a thing. Boy, I'd like to be able to get access to that. They've closed it down up there now, but that would be nice to be able to get access to that.
Yeah. I have a girl I went to school with. I've never asked her. She's LDS, but her last name is Browning, and she lives in Ogden. So it's probably the same family.
Well, yeah, they all come from Ogden. The Brownings did.
Made good weapons, boy. Yeah, the guy in the military says, who says a 50 cal isn't a maneuverable weapon? He's a big black guy, man. He could throw a hand grenade 3 times farther than anybody else with a SF trigger. He could throw that farther than a 60 millimeter mortar.
Good to see you.
Looks good.
Yeah, things are so good.
So you're here with part of the YCC?
Yes, so the Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Yeah. It's so nice of you guys to acknowledge that, and we're always glad to come out to speak on some meeting.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys come out all right on your gala night?
Oh, it went really well. We got a little better
we have
than we
the,
did last
chief
year,
of
which is
police
really good,
show?
especially with the economy kind of the uncertainty.
Unless he's out chief of police.
No.
Yeah, they usually do.
They're very well received at that.
That man right there,
No, I think we netted like close to 185. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Afternoon.
The team did fabulous.
Good evening.
No, it was so glad to see you come out.
And your name?
I might not be forward through.
Oh, you just let, that's
I'm
what,
just kidding.
that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah. You get a chance to speak your mind. Hey, gentlemen, how are you?
Good, how are you?
How are you?
Okay?
I'm always okay.
Good.
What's your name?
Sean Myers.
Sean Myers.
And yours?
Like
Oh,
Myers
vigilante.
Mortuary?
I'm sorry?
Vigilante.
Oh,
That's what I
vigilante.
go by.
Yeah, that's where I work.
Is that where you work?
Yep.
That's a
Yep.
good place. Where you
Well,
work?
it's been good for me. 43 years this year. So, it adds up.
I did my time on
Always appreciate your comments. No, I like you guys. I put my trust in you. Oh, I like
Just
him.
like Dane's.
If I don't at least come and complain about something I don't like, I can't complain about it later. That's right. That's why I can't. Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't work,
What do you guys
then
want, lead us in the
blame
pledge?
myself, not showing.
You can. No, I don't want to. I'm giving you a direct order.
Tell me your name.
Vigilante.
That ain't it.
That's
I
what he
go
goes by.
Vigilante, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do his background, you might step back about 10 feet. He's about 10.
Okay.
That's nice, that's nice of him.
Yeah, we'll just, it's part of our opening ceremony, we'll just have you come up.
Okay,
Just
where's the
pledge.
flag?
It's right there.
Right there, okay,
Gotcha. Thank you.
What was your name?
Richard.
What is your, job? Your what?
I'm vice chair.
Vice chair, okay. I
Have
hope
gold.
you still like me after getting that song.
Okay. Well, as long as you don't call me names,
I don't, no, not unless someone touches me. Hey,
Getting in front of it.
You know, it's like,
it's a sign of, corporation.
Admiral Court.
Oh.
It's got its own print. It's an Admiral Court.
Oh, good, so,
It's in the regular war court.
good, I like that.
Good, how about you?
See, I forgot about that. Diane sent me a lot of stuff on here, so we'll listen to some.
Did you say you want me to use it to pull up your mark for your thing?
But I want you to film me when I'm talking.
Hard to do, is it saying?
No, because what you're gonna do
Fairness.
is I'll set it like this, and you hit next.
She had mentioned this group called
It
Just
says,
Serve, which is
no,
where
not the
people
kids.
volunteers can learn.
And then go live.
I'm gonna be on it to take a.
It's gonna go live on.
On YouTube, yeah, first time I've ever done this.
Get her done.
Oh, man, I'm gonna be here with that.
Do you wanna do it?
You better do it.
You can use this one on yours too, I mean, what's the deal? Just do it. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our April 15th. It's tax day today, 2025. It's an Ogden City Council meeting. Let the roll call reflect that. All council members are present, with the exceptions of Chair White, who is electronic with us today, I believe. Chair White, would you like to say hello?
Hello, hopefully this works.
Hey, we do hear you. That's good.
All right.
That's good news. Okay, we have asked a member of our audience today, one of our veterans. He goes by Mr. Vigilante, and we asked him to lead us in the pledge today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, if you would please join us for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is acknowledgements, and we do have one that is on the agenda today. Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We've asked Councilmember Myers if he would present that one for us.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. We recognize Wednesday, April 30th as Denim Day, observed during Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This day serves as a reminder that sexual violence and victim blaming have no place in our community. We stand with survivors and acknowledge the difficult realities that they face. We also recognize the critical work done by local organizations like the YCC, who lead efforts in prevention, education, and survivor support. We're honored to have the Executive Director of the YCC, Danette Stanger, here with us tonight and acknowledge her presence. Our role is to listen, to learn, and support those working on the front lines. We encourage our community to engage in meaningful ways that promote safety, equity, and hearing for all. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Sorry. Okay. We don't have to redo it.
No.
All right, we have, next item is new business, proposed financial auditor contract. And,
Minutes?
well, I turned my page over and skipped 2 more. Let's do the minutes. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you guys keeping me in line. So, approval of minutes, joint work session on March 4th, 2025. Councilmember Blair.
Yes, thank you. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate.
And the regular meeting of March 4th, 2025. Councilmember DeBarker.
Yes, Vice Chair, I've read those and they're correct to my recollection.
And finally, the joint work session on March 11th, 2025. Councilmember Kraft.
Yes, I've reviewed them and find them to be correct to the best of my recollection, and I move that we accept the minutes as put forth.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Kraft, second by Councilmember Blair to approve the minutes. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, they stand approved. Now we'll go to the new business. Post financial auditor contract. Mr. Steins, welcome.
Thank you very much. I know you guys are just so eager to hear about auditing contracts. It's just the most exciting thing you're going to hear about all night. So on your agenda tonight is a proposal for you to adopt a new contract with an auditor. So the city's current contract for auditing services ended with the FY24 audit. And in January, the City Council office published a new RFP for auditing services. This RFP was published on the city's website and in the Standard Examiner 2 separate times, and was also sent to a list of what are called disadvantaged business enterprises. This is a list that's put together by the city's purchasing division, and they research federal databases and websites of relevant businesses categorized as small, minority, women, veteran-owned, and other disadvantaged enterprises, with most of those firms being in Utah, some in the surrounding areas. So there were 79 businesses on that list as well. So that's who it was noticed to. So the RFP period closed in February, and the city received just one proposal, and that was from HBME. HBME has been the city's auditor for the past 5 years. Staff is very happy with them, but we still wanted to ensure that a proper review took place of the proposal. So in order to do that, an internal review committee was created to review and score the proposal based on the criteria that was listed in the RFP. And this group included representatives from the council office, finance staff, and community development. So in addition to that internal review, the city's financial audit committee reviewed the proposal in a public meeting on March 19th. The committee reviewed the proposal, received a presentation from HBME, and voted to recommend approval of HBME to the council as the city's auditor. The proposal for the council is to approve the contract for the service of the auditing services with HBME. The contract that you have is for 3 years with an option for 2 additional years if approved by the council. So that contract would cover the audits for fiscal years 2025, 26, and 27, with a 2-year extension covering 28 and 29. So if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any questions for Mr. Steins? I guess HBME is really kind of the only show and tell for a while now, huh?
Yep, so we did just have one, and one thing I didn't mention was that in addition to those other reviews with the internal committee and the audit committee, I was able to contact the references that they submitted and talk to some of the other cities. One of the other cities south of us, they went through the RFP process at the same time. They did the same kind of advertising, and they actually did targeted advertising, and they also only ended up with one. And that actually was HBME, so yeah, it seems like the pool is shrinking a little bit. Something that we'll consider in a few years when we do this again is, just making sure we get the word out.
Vice Chair, I think I'd also make a comment that within HBME, they have different folks that can participate in different ways, engaging in the city, and so it's not necessarily the same auditor every time, so there's some of that to help.
So it's fresh eyes.
Yeah, fresh eyes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Any other comments or questions?
I also had the privilege of sitting on the audit committee and received this report a little more in detail about HBME, and they just had an outstanding process in their audit procedures. And also want to acknowledge our financial staff here at the city, because the only variance that they found that was, I can remember today, that was out of alignment was that our reserves were a little bit higher than what they should have been, which is a good problem to have, but part of that was a result of the fact that interest rates were a little bit higher than what we anticipated. But I just am so impressed with their procedures and their policies, and I think they just shine a light on our city and the strictness and exactness of how our administrative financial staff is taking care of our city. So it's a real positive for me to express my gratitude to these two entities, to our city financial administration city and HBME. They've just done a phenomenal job. And with that having been said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-7 and adopt that contract with HBME.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Myers, second by Councilmember Ritchie to adopt proposed resolution 2025-7. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Blair?
Aye.
Councilmember Chivurka?
Aye.
Councilmember Graff?
Aye.
Councilmember Myers?
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie?
Aye.
Vice Chair Hyder?
Aye.
Chair White?
Aye. Yay.
Well, that passes unanimously. That will be good to get them back moving for us again, so. All right, the next item on our agenda is public comment. This is.
Vice Chair Hyder,
Yes.
is Danette still there?
Yes, she is.
No, it was just an acknowledgement, but if maybe if we can have her just say a couple of words, if you don't mind, I know it's public comment, so maybe.
Sure, you're the boss, so
Just
let's invite her to do that.
What, I mean, it was great, and I really appreciate, the acknowledgement, and I just, just a couple of minutes, maybe Danette, if you would come up and explain why we do it, or why you do it, and why it's important.
She's coming up.
And I'm putting you on the spot.
I am so happy to be put on the spot, so thank you. My name is Danette Stinger, and I have been the Executive Director at YCC Family Crisis Center since the beginning of this year, about January. But I've been with the organization for many years, for about 8 years. And I appreciate so much Ogden City taking a moment to recognize Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Meeting the needs of survivors of sexual violence is really an issue that takes all of us to come together to support and empower and uplift people who experience these really difficult crimes. At YCC Family Crisis Center, we're often known for being a domestic violence shelter and those services, but April gives us a month, to really focus on another important area, and that is that sexual violence is really prevalent in our community and in our nation, and it needs that spotlight shined on it so that we can improve outcomes for survivors. We have a team of 4 case managers and advocates and a whole team of hospital response team advocates that are available to support survivors 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. What we want people to know is services are available, that they're free, that they're confidential, and we are here to help. And it's also something, when we look at the history of YCC, we are entering our 80th year of being in existence. And YCC was one of the first sexual violence support centers in the state of Utah. So this issue has been going on for a long time, and it used to be something that was really hard to talk about. It was hard to address, and it was one of those issues in our community that we've struggled to overcome. But I truly believe that through the support of our city, of our community, volunteers, and people that are dedicated to ending sexual violence, that we are making extreme amounts of progress and support for survivors as we move forward. And I just want to take a moment on behalf of my staff, myself, and the survivors that we serve. And thank you guys for taking just a moment out of this busy meeting to acknowledge this really important month. Really quickly, because Denim Day was mentioned, I want to tell you a little bit about that. That is actually an international movement where understanding sexual violence and where it comes from is the purpose of Denim Day, and it comes from a court case out of Italy where the survivor was found to have contributed to the crime because she was wearing tight pants, and if she hadn't wanted that event to happen, she couldn't have taken those off. And so Denim Day started as a movement when a person was not held accountable for their crime, and so the prosecutors and the advocates wore denim to support that survivor, and it has since become an international movement. So on April 30th and throughout certain days throughout the month, we'll be wearing denim to just show solidarity for victims of sexual violence. Another thing that our organization is doing is we have an art exhibit at the Monarch to kind of bring light to people who are wearing all different types of things when they're sexually assaulted, that it's never the survivor's fault that this happened to them. It's not due to what they were wearing or where they were at, that the root cause of sexual violence needs to be placed on people that are perpetrating that crime, and we reduce victim blaming and support survivors. So that's just a little bit about this month and what we're doing, and we appreciate your support in getting the messaging out there that all of our community partners can refer clients and survivors regardless of when their assault happened, whether it was previously in their life or in childhood. We are here to support survivors today, tomorrow, and in the future. So we thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll have public comment. This, to be considerate of everyone, please limit your comments to 3 minutes and give us your name for the record.
All right, so my name is Cliff, but I go by the Vigilante, and I live here in Utah. I was noticing when I came into the door the rules of decorum here, and I want to talk about the Constitution a little bit because it's very important to me. I swore an oath to it when I was 17 years old, and it's pretty important. And I want to just start by the First Amendment. First Amendment of the Constitution. I'm going to start with religion. We can practice it or not practice it, and we can worship any God we want to or not, as was demonstrated here tonight. Assembly. We're all here, assembled, and we have a right to be here. It's an individual right, so if there was just one in the room, we'd have a right to be here. Okay? Next one is press. I have a camera, and I plan on disseminating that to the public. It's an individual right. We all have a right to be press. Petition. Petition our redress our grievances to the government, which means, and you're part of the government, right? So if we have a grievance, we have a right to redress our government. And that means that brings us to speech. It means we can say anything we want. So we can disparage if we want to. It's a constitutional right, and you can't infringe on that. We can cuss. We can say whatever we want in our 3 minutes here. That's all I've got.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you.
I just didn't want them to close shop before I went to
My name is Dr. Walt English. I live in Syracuse, Utah. I'm here tonight to seek justice against 6 of your police officers of the Ogden Police Department. They are Sergeant Hill, Officer Moore, Officer Parker, Officer Tolman, Officer Duarte, and Officer Velowitz. Recently, I have documented over 21 Utah state laws they have broken and 9 federal laws they have broken. I am here today to ask you, sir, you're the mayor, correct? The mayor, to press criminal charges against these 6 officers, and after your investigation, terminate all officers from the Ogden Police Department. Additionally, I want to call your attention to the following egregious and unnecessary acts of violence and excessive force against citizens of Ogden committed by your shameful police department. The beating of Rand Brim, Sean Sims, Darcy Layton, the murder of Giovanni Mercado Adula. Let's not forget that the years of harassment of Dawn Marie Newman and the fact that Master Sergeant, and I would like you to look into this, Mayor, Buck placed a false and illegal, put her name on a gang list, which has ruined her ability to renew her dental hygiene license with the state, and with the constant jailing at the whims of the Ogden Police Department. In addition, there are 13 women, other women, that live in Weber that have had their lives turned upside down and ruined by the Ogden Police Department. Additionally, on September 17th, the thugs of the Ogden Police Department showed up to the Utah Department of Child and Family Services and arrested Dawn Marie and me and kidnapped us. They arrested her on a squashed warrant out of Arizona, which had been expunged on the 16th, the day before, of September. Also note that this was the 4th time that Ogden Police had used the same warrant to arrest Dawn Newman. The Ogden Police Department are grossly untrained and uneducated in the civil rights of citizens of Utah, and the above mentioned actions against the citizens of Ogden clearly demonstrate the criminal and unprofessional conduct of the officers of the Ogden Police Department. Finally, note, rated by the national organization Police Scoreboard, Ogden Police Department was and still is rated as the 2nd worst police department in Utah. The biggest problems cited in this report were lack of accountability and transparency, and emphasis on the fact that the Ogden Police Department doesn't take citizens' complaints seriously. And of the 11 mentioned...
Well, you exceeded your 3 minutes.
Well, okay, can I just finish this up? I'll probably take about another minute.
Not right on the whole minute. You just have a few seconds, but that'll be okay.
Well,
For fairness, we have 3 minutes.
well, there's such a big line waiting. Now, for you, being the mayor, okay?
Anybody else?
I'm gonna give you this. This is my, I want to give it to you. This is my complaint. What you should start doing is putting a suspense date to the police department to make sure.
We gotta move on.
This is very important. I can talk to him, but we have
Not during our meeting. You're interrupting our meeting.
Well, I don't know your rules, do I?
Well, I'm telling you what the
Yeah.
rules are. You
Okay,
exceeded your 3
well,
minutes, so.
you should develop a suspense system with your police department that all
Police
citizens
announcer.
complaint come across your desk.
Please
And they have
announcer.
30 days. That's 7 months ago.
Hey, your time's up.
7 months ago.
Please
And these are
announce.
the laws that they have, that they violate.
Do we need to take a recess?
I don't need you to
We've
put
got
your
our
hands up.
officer
Get away
taken
from
care
me.
of.
Get away from
Thank
me.
you.
Sit down.
I'm not a dog.
Okay, Laura?
Laura Lewis, Ogden City resident. I would like to comment on what that, I didn't come here since it came up. I happen to have been a neighbor of Dawn Marie Newman's, and there was a lot of police presence. They would sneak around our neighborhood, go through our backyards to get to her house. And I didn't know her real well, but I never saw any gang activity or anything up at that house. It's a mystery to me what happened to her and why she's in jail. And I would like to know what happened there. I'm not saying she wasn't responsible for what happened, but there was so many officers sneaking around our neighborhood. Her little boy disappeared, and that's when it all started. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. First of all, Mayor, I watched one of your podcasts, I think it was a week ago Friday, where it was you and your wife. And I found that to be very productive, that format, because you went over issues that I don't feel, when we have those really heated arguments, I don't think all the information comes out. So we really never know why decisions are made and the reasons. So it's really nice, that format, when you can go back and review those. The housing, I had no idea, we had 2,000 apartment buildings already committed to this city. And I would be cussing you for that. So now I don't have to. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about were the fees. Kind of made me really nervous when I first looked at those fees, and I saw $25 to rent a pickleball court, and $19.50 for lights, and then I saw membership fee. And I just want to clarify a couple of things. So if I buy a senior pass for $250, that gets me into the facility to do whatever I want once I'm in there?
The way I understand it, yeah.
Okay,
I
and
think
so,
the classes would be separate.
yeah, the classes
the
are
program
separate,
classes
but
are
if I want to make sure, it sounds like there's only going to be guaranteed one court open for members. The other two could be already reserved. So if I want to reserve a court, I pay an additional $26 to reserve that court in addition to my membership. Is that correct? And I know you can't answer. And then, I understand from the way they were talking, these were 3 outdoor courts, and I thought we were going to have some indoor courts. I thought there were at least, that previously we had them on the basketball courts, the lines were painted on there as well when we took out courts. Are they still going to be there? And, what was it? Well, I'm glad you're honoring silver sneakers. That's a real benefit for seniors. Oh, and then are you going to start charging for the other public courts, outdoor courts? Why is this the exception? Why?
We will get you some answers.
I know you.
We have somebody here that knows the answers.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else?
I have nothing good to say about it. So I'm going to end the live stream. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you later.
Hey, everyone.
Want to tell them who you are? Oh, you're the janitor, that's right.
Janitor.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find a broom.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of people in there flying.
I may have to go through the council to get a broom though.
Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Now do you understand I wanted to go ahead of you? Why?
Yeah, very good.
I think it was perfect.
I wanted to pave the way for you.
Well, the thing is, all I had was one more minute, and there ain't a big goddamn line down there. You know, they're assholes.
That's why I asked
So,
you.
you know what? They could have been nice. You know, but I'm really going after their money.
I think that woman went on, the first woman went on for more than 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, because, you know, it's their, but see, I'm talking about the police department with their.
We need to time that because we were recording when she was up there.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean shit. They don't care.
No, they don't care.
They're assholes. They're lucky I didn't fucking spin off and start saying my fucking
I
free
think what you
speech.
did was perfect. It'll come across really good.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
pissed.
wanted to pave the way for him because, you know, I didn't know if he was gonna cuss or what he was gonna do, so I wanted to make sure that they understood their rules were not constitutional.
No, I wasn't gonna cuss because the first guy that came in the room, the guy that you know, told me to shut up and sit down.
Punk kid cop.
And then he
wanted
brings
to-
the cop over. I said, get the fuck away from me. I think that's what I said.
You know, you said, don't put your hands on me.
Yeah. And he backed off.
He did. Smart. Especially after what I said. I mean, I'm sure they were listening to what I was saying.
Oh, they didn't like it.
They didn't like it.
No, because they think because they have these positions, and you know what? They're overpaid fucks.
Well, did you notice the 3 seats in the front that said staff?
Yeah.
They're going to give front row seats to staff, but us peons, the peasants in the public, we don't get to sit
Well,
up front.
Now they know who I'm fucking is. I think they already know.
Yeah, they do.
And so I will sue them up the ass more than happy now. They got no fucking chance. They are so fucked. You know, the mayor didn't want to have nothing to do with me.
No, I know.
What a piece of shit.
Well, he did accept it though. So
He did. He did accept the papers.
Yeah.
Which says something because you didn't need to right at that moment.
They probably thought I was going to.
You know, I've known most of the mayors. I don't know him. They've been some pretty decent mayors here.
And you know that lady that got up and spoke right after you, Walt, she was basically defending what you were saying.
Marine, yeah.
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 Yeah. Did you know that lady?
No.
Oh, I thought maybe she was your
No,
friend.
she said she was a neighbor of hers.
Yeah, and she
We
started
didn't know her from Adam.
sneaking around the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
See, what the neighborhood needs to do, we need to have a block
Party.
for them
Yeah.
to come to get them to march on the fucking city hall and come into a meeting and say, we're tired of this fucking shit.
Yeah, harassment of the citizens. That's exactly what it is.
You heard that Myers mortuary guy say, that's what you're here for. Say your opinion. Say your speech.
And I said, if we want to cuss and disparage you, we have a right to do that too.
And what, you know, there wasn't like there's 100 people waiting in line to
No.
talk. And when I said, can you just give me one more minute and I can finish it up? No, no, we're not going to.
No, it wouldn't be
That's
fair.
to
Wouldn't be
everybody.
fair. Yeah, well, that's why I say we need to time how long that woman spoke, that first woman.
Oh, I guarantee she spoke for
5 minutes or more.
Yeah.
They didn't turn the fucking thing on either, did they? Should have wasted my fucking time.
Well, all we got to do is time it from the video. Ugh. All right. Let me flip this around here. So, that's the reason we stopped you today, AFA. Accountability for all. And they are trying to thwart our investigation, James Freeman. And what else? Oh, smart motherfuckers are always looking at and thinking there's crazy motherfuckers, and there's stupid motherfuckers. That's a quote from Albert Einstein. Dreaded rabble rouser, shout out, brother. That's all I got, man. My shakes are starting to make my voice shake too, so it's not that I was nervous up there at all. It's just that's what's happening with my disability. So, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you on the next one.